Your 5% theory rule, I love. I want to know about your goals. Okay. Your license plate even says goals, if I'm not mistaken. Do you write these goals down? I mean, do you have a massive whiteboard in your office? Are you have them tattooed on your back? What's going on here? Because you
Yeah,
are very, very goal oriented, and I love that. I'm the same exact way, but sometimes our goals can be pushed to the side. So, what's your secret?
well, yes. So all of those things are true. It actually says goals on my license plate.
Mhm.
I have a vision board both at home and at work where I can write things down as soon as it comes into my head.
Okay,
I
okay, hold on, Billy, because this is the second. I did not know about these vision boards, except for I saw a couple on my Hallmark movies that I love to watch, and then Chastity's been yelling at me to get a vision board. Is this literally like a board, and then you just put pictures on it? I need to know more about this.
It is a dry eraser board. The one at work I have, I believe, is like 5 feet by 4 feet, and
Okay.
anything can go on that that will help you visualize or stay focused on the goal at hand. So let's say, for example, before I bought my dream house, okay, which I'm in now. So this is the studio in my house currently where I film my videos, okay? Um, on my vision board, I put what I thought my dream house would look like. Okay. I put a picture of the car that I wanted. Okay, which was a Cadillac Escalade. Okay, I didn't have these things at the time. All right, I was renting. I had three roommates at one time. My first car was a sky blue Ford Pinto. Okay,
Oh,
and so to go somewhere, to have a goal or a want or a need to move up in those categories, I had to think, okay, what do I want? Let's define what I want. And when I learned goal setting, um, from Brad Bramlett and NBC camps, and then I saw it implemented with Dan O'Brien, Olympian Dan O'Brien. I met him when I was a kid, and he did his speech, and he had his goals written down and put them in his wallet. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a shot. I mean, let's look at the numbers, okay? By just writing down your goals, you have a 50% better chance of achieving that goal. Now, if you
wow.
say that goal out loud, that percentage just increases. If you add pictures, that percentage increases. So I'm thinking, okay, if I write down, I want to buy my dream home, let's say, or my dream car. Most people want to get the car that they want. They visualize themselves driving around. And so let's use a car. Okay. You want to buy your dream car. You put that car, you write, I want to buy a Cadillac Escalade, let's say. And then you have a picture of that Escalade. You see that every day, and you stay focused on that goal and what you need to do to reach that goal. You have a much higher percentage chance of reaching that goal. Now, within that, you need to have a plan. Okay. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Okay.
Oh,
So you need to have a plan. So if I want to drive the car that I want to drive, I'm going to need income. So that means I'm going to need a job, right? I might even need two jobs. In high school, I did have two jobs. I was sweeping floors at my dad's shop, going and working out, and then bussing tables at nighttime. You know, so there's a part of goal setting and reaching that goal about giving something up right now to have something later. And that, I think, has been lost in today's society. Let's go back to the original thing: addicted to the internet, addicted to TikTok,
yep.
these 10-second success videos, right? Well, what's underneath that? What you don't see, that successful TikToker, what you don't see is their backstory.
Hmm.
You don't see the videos that didn't go viral. You don't see the Jake Paul that posted a video every day for 2.5 years before he hit. So you got to you got to remember, everybody has a backstory. Overnight success. I think the most famous line is, yeah, my overnight success, which took 20 years. I mean that,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
most successful people and most millionaires and most people that have reached a certain level of success, or people that see that as success, need to know that, basically.
How much of your success do you think is mental as opposed to physical? Obviously, you're built like a damn Greek god. You work your ass off. Every time I've seen you, you never look like a slob, which is very impressive. Because sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go run to Rosar's real quick and I'll throw on a sweatshirt. Anytime I've ever seen you out, you're prim, you're proper. I'm like, damn, he really gets out and goes. So go ahead. What?
Well, yes. What percentage? I don't know exactly. I mean, but it would, if it's, you know, if it's anything under 40, I mean, it might even be 50-50. I mean,
Mhm.
your mental state of mind, and how you deal with the world itself, right? This world that we live in is not easy. Okay. It's not any easier for me than it is someone else out there. It's just, how have I been able to categorize stuff in my brain as what is important to deal with right now, what is important to deal with later, as far as prioritizing. Well, you know, I'm going to walk into work today, you know, after this podcast, I'm going to walk into work today and I'm going to have, life's going to throw me things too, right? But I need to learn how to prioritize those things and deal with those things in a matter much like Tom Brady, right? Let's use
Mhm.
a Tom Brady theory, okay? Now, I'm a Joe Montana guy, by the way, just so you know, and I still think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback and ever, and Joe Montana the same thing. Let's look at how successful those guys were and why. When anything would happen, let's say when Joe Montana in the Super Bowl was driving down against the Broncos and Farnhorst got the penalty, right? Joe didn't even think twice about it. Looked to the sideline, got the next play, looked at his guy and said, "Hey, don't even worry about it. We're moving on." Right? Tom Brady, the same thing. These guys have been able to take over their brain and not let their brain get to them, and also within that, not let outside sources and influences get to them. Right?
Yep.
Now, I have not mastered this by any shape of the imagination. Okay, it is a constant struggle for me to not let things get to me.
Well,
To
it's because you're smart, and smart people, what happens is, I tell all the time with my long snappers, once you start thinking, you're going to start thinking. So don't think.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like paralysis from analysis, right? I, I
Yes.
mean, I tell that to people all the time in the store. Like, are you keeping a food journal? No, you know, I haven't done that yet. Paralysis by analysis. All you need to do is download the app and put your first meal in there, and you're on your way.
Yeah.
You know, I tell that to people the same thing when they're trying to get out of debt. How I got out of debt, right? I took the lowest amount of money that I owed and I paid that one off first. Okay. That got me to the next one, which got me to the next one, which ended up paying off my other credit card and then paying off my car and then paying off my first house. Right. And it's the same thing with fitness. It's the same exact thing with fitness. Just walk into the gym and something positive is going to happen. Okay. And it's also no different during my morning routine when I wake up at 6 a.m. The first thing I want to put in my brain is positive thoughts. I don't want to wake up and do what I see. You know, you see the social media posts all the time, like, "Oh God, another day. I
Mhm.
need coffee." You know what I mean? Okay. Well, I want to wake up and think, "Great, I woke up again. Let's go kick some ass today." You
Yeah.
know,
I woke up on the right side of the dirt.
I may not feel that way. I don't feel like working out every morning. I don't feel like getting in my cold plunge for 5 minutes 3 times a week, right? But I do those things because I understand that I'm willing to give up the comfort right now to have success and to be able to do things that I wasn't going to be able to do without them later. And going back to that original internet, you know, addicted to the internet, it's a very tough lesson to get through to people right now is, you know, things are going to take time.
Mhm.
Success takes time. Being healthy, being physically fit takes time, and you have to exercise your brain just like you exercise your body.
Yeah, one of the things I always tell my kids is when they say I can't, like when I hear the word can't, it drives me insane. And they'll say, I can't do this. I say, it's not that you can't, it's you're not able to yet.
Correct. And you know the other thing, the other cliche thing people say is, you know, don't listen to anybody else. Right? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. I when people say that, like, you know, I see that on social media too. I listen to everybody.
Yeah.
I listen to the people that told me I can, and I listen to the people that told me I can't. And I you know, it's hard to admit this. The people that told me that I wasn't going to be a success, or which was very few, by the way.
Mhm.
I always people always told me I could, but there was a few people along the way that were like, screw that guy, you know. or he's this or he's that or whatever. Man, that was fuel for so many days.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was able to take that and recycle that into so many positive things in my life that when people say, don't listen to the naysayers and don't listen to what people say, you're out of your mind. You need to listen to all of those. And hopefully at some point, which this has happened to me, by the way, I've had a number of people years later come up to me at a public function in town and say, hey, Billy, can I talk to you for a second? Sure, man. What's up? I talked a lot of crap about you, back in the day, and I know you know that, you know what I mean? But dude, you've done it, man. You stayed on your path. You did what you said you were going to do. Oh, and one more thing, my mom had cancer, and she came into your store, and you helped her, and you called her to see how she was doing, and and that really meant a lot to me, right? You know what I mean? So.
Mhm.
So I just think that some things in life you have to listen and learn. ABL, man, always be learning,
Yep.
always be learning, and you can learn stuff from your friends and your foes, your competitors and your competition, And so what I try to do is just keep that door open all the time.
I agree. Yeah, it's got to be fuel for you because you're never like we talked about before. You're never going to please everybody. It's literally impossible. Don't bother, And it's one of those that hate you. Okay, find out and then let it fuel you to push you farther and farther and farther. And like, oh, you can't do this. Okay, now I'm going to do it twice. It's going to be very, very simple. That's what I'm going to do. Billy, if someone's watching this right now on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, therubiomethod.com, or NGBN, they're looking at you and going, okay, that's easy for this guy to say. He's built like a damn Clydesdale. I'm a 55-year-old dude. I haven't been to the gym in 10 years. What advice can you give to that guy?
Well, number one is you have to have a goal. Okay.
Okay.
Not everybody wants six-pack abs. Not everybody wants to be a Chippendales dancer. Not everyone wants to be a business owner. My path that I took is my path. What is your path? Get to know yourself, right? I got to do this all the time. I talk to myself all the time to continue to get to know myself as I age. You know what I mean? I'm in my late 40s at this point, and things change. Your energy changes, your goals change. So first and foremost, get to know yourself and what you want. Let's take an analysis of where we're at right now. What position am I in right now, and where do I want to go? Now we need to define that goal. So let's say I've got a 50-year-old that wants to change his life and he wants to get back into shape. We need to define that. Okay. So by the time I'm 51 years old, I want to have lost 25 pounds and be able to, a lot of guys want to do something they haven't done for a while. So maybe let's say I want to run a mile in 8 minutes, something like that, right? Now we have a definitive goal. Now we can plan. Okay. So now we can get the vision board out and we can put that mile time on that vision board. We can write 1 mile in 8 minutes and we can put it on that board. We can have a picture of another 51-year-old that you think is in the shape you want to be in. We can take that picture and put that on that board. And then we can start to visualize and tell our brain, this is what we've been talking about, right? Mental health and how you talk to yourself and what you see. We can now show our brain that this is possible. We can then execute that plan by proper training, nutrition, supplementation. And you know what the exciting thing is? I ain't the only one out there wanting to help people. There is a community of people, and it's not always about health, but there's a community of people out there that want to help you with your finances, that want to help you with your fitness, that want to help you with your food, that want to help you with your fun. So really reach out to your community, whatever community you're in. If you're out there, there's some of the most successful people often get tagged as the most stuck up, or he thinks he's so cool, or she thinks he's so cool, this, that, and everything. You know what the honest truth is? Those people were right where you were at one time, and they probably want to help you just as bad as they wanted help back in the day. Because I remember going up to the guys in the gym and saying, hey, can I have the biggest guys in the gym? And I was like scared to death. Hey, can I have some help? And they were like, sure. What do you want help with, kid? What are you eating? What are you lifting? So that's one thing to remember is that people I believe are good people. Like most people are good people. And some of the most successful people out there are some of the most friendliest and want to give you that help, and they want you to have the same freedom they have.
Billy, where can people find out more about you, what you're selling? Just sell me some stuff right now. Where can people find out? Because your BillyJeffrey.com is absolutely phenomenal. It's a great website. That's number one. What else?
All social media. I'm pretty much at Billy Jeffrey at everything. You can Google Billy Jeffrey. It comes up, and it's Jeffrey. I have 3 locations right now, GNCs. My Lewiston, Idaho store where we live is one of the most successful stores in the nation. A lot of people call in from out of town and place their orders. We probably ship 20 or 30 orders a day, as well as taking care of the community. And then the goalsgear.net website, with my Goals Gear line, my most successful product right now is actually brain gear for mental health. I mean, so many people would approach me that they were stressed out, after COVID, or had brain fog and their mood wasn't right and their brain wasn't right. So I developed Brain Gear, which has been my most successful product to date. I take it myself. This is a product that helps clear brain fog, helps with short-term and long-term memory, neuro firing, and is one of the most successful products I've ever sold. And they can find that at goalsgear.net. So
goalsgear.net or .com?
.net.
Perfect.
Yeah, BillyJeffrey.com, goalsgear.net.
Billy, this was absolutely phenomenal. You're phenomenal. Keep up your success. I wish you nothing but the best. Thanks again, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Her name is Chastity. I'm out. We're coming back with the bottom line.
You have been watching The Rubio Method, a show on the NGBN.TV network.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Jenna Ganje, out in Canada. Thanks for all that you do for the Rubio Method. Really appreciate you coming on board NGBN.TV. The bottom line is here for all you new listeners and watchers on YouTube, Spotify Video, Apple, Google, Amazon, NGBN, and of course, therubiomethod.com. The bottom line is just all the stuff that you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Number 1, embrace the suck. Remember what Monahan was talking about, the joy of exercise. Get out, do it, be happy that you can do it. If you can just walk a mile and it takes a whole day, hey, that's better than you did the day before, hopefully. And then the next day, just do a mile and a step. Just embrace the suck. Number 2, you aren't the first person to go through this process of life, and you won't be the last. This goes back to the question of, hey, would I wear readers or hearing aid? Hell yeah. You know why? Because people get old. Your body's, it's kind of like a car. It kind of breaks down after a while. You don't have cars that go millions of miles. At least I don't think you do. And your body's not going to be the same after a certain amount of time anyway. As we get older, 40s, 50s, you start to notice your knees, your back, your elbows, your shoulders, everything starts to kind of be broken down. You're not the first person to do it. You won't be the last. And last, be a truly goal-oriented person that completes one after another, after another, after another. This goes exactly what Billy Jeffrey was talking about. He was very motivational. He was great. There's a ton of fantastic sound bites from him. And just be a goal person. This guy is a very goal-driven human being. And you could tell with all the success that he follows through with all his goals. It's been a fantastic episode. I've used the word fantastic about 10 times today, and I don't care because it is fantastic. Episode number 44 of the Rubio Method. Her name is Chastity. I'm out.
NGBN TV, a network for men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, coming January 2024.